Okay, roadmap. I'm going to look at the RVI contention 1 of cyber war tied into the tech thing a little bit, and then we're going to look at some big picture voting issues, why we win, basically. Okay, y'all ready? Okay, I want to start off with this issue of the reverse voting issue. Basically, that Lydia didn't answer Josiah's questions, so therefore we lose because she was being rude and not polite to big boy Josiah over here. I have 2 responses to this. First, she did take Josiah's questions. There were at least 1, maybe 2 questions that she did answer. Second is basically it's an irrational reverse voting issue. Basically, the opposition could plague up or fill up our time with 100 million questions, and if we ignore some of them, they could slap this exact same reverse voting issue on us, making us lose because we didn't answer all of their questions. Irrational reverse voting issue. The government deserves to win this round. Sure, why not?
How many questions did we ask?
3. She took 1. 3 or 4. Maybe. Anyway, I want to look at the issue of cyber war and the tech thing. I have 3 issues I wanted you to remember under cyber war and technology. Under cyber war specifically, they had this issue of attribution. Basically, we can't tell who did what. International cooperation between allies solves this. If this was one nation acting independently, yes, attribution would be an issue. But because we have the allies, the United States is able to determine internationally, not at this point, who can they...
Point of order, stop.
No.
It's a point of order, stop
Sure.
the time. That argument about attribution was brought up in the first speech. They've never made the response that international cooperation solves.
Which one was that? Yeah, that might have been
attribution.
Hold on. Wow, he has that flow sheet of my
yeah, I have Lydia dropping that point.
Yeah. Okay.
Me too.
Sure, okay.
So just move
the whole
on.
cyber warfare
She
thing?
kind of referenced cybersecurity,
Okay.
and I responded to it in a different way last week.
Just attribution.
Well, I talked about
Okay.
China, but I didn't talk about attribution. Yeah.
Okay, then we'll look at the technology thing real quick. Under cyber war and technology, I want to tie this in really quickly, something that Lydia and I both have mentioned. They basically said for every offense capability we have a defense. Actually, that's not true, specifically with cyber warfare. Right now, the United States is the worst major power in the world as far as cyber defense capabilities, with Iran and North Korea ranking far higher than the United States. This technology thing really completely does not apply because the United States is pathetic when it comes to cyber defense. If when World War III happens, and when cyber war takes its crucial role in that war, the United States will be defeated on this cyber war terrain. But now let's look at the big picture, really. Several things I want you to remember why we deserve to win this round. First is looking at the Middle East and the turmoil, Hezbollah, non-state actors, terrorist groups, and rogue nations, all with nuclear capabilities that could easily be proliferated, sparking World War III. Second reason is that the terrorists are not under the mutually assured destruction MAD doctrine. Terrorists, it simply does not apply to terrorist groups or rogue non-state actors. And the nuclear materials could easily be proliferated to these nuclear terrorist groups, and they will use them once they have them. Third and finally, America and the European allies are weakened by economic crises all around the world, and additionally, economic crises like in Africa and different nations in that region will once again, as we brought up in the first speech, spark this World War III, which is impending right now. Fourth and finally, territorial disputes, most importantly of all of them simply will not go away. Every single territorial dispute, those islands, off the coast of China, Kashmir, India, all of these things, all of them will not receive a peaceful solution. All of them will not be avoided. At least some of them will spark this World War III, be the step necessary to launch the rest of the world, major powers, into a full-blown World War III conflict. They brought up several specific instances like Kashmir, Taiwan, all of them. Actually, Taiwan specifically, they said they would ask us to provide one specific instance where mutually assured destruction does not apply, and it's simple: China and Taiwan. The United States does support and protect Taiwan, sure, but they said the United States is not tied to Taiwan. Those were Josiah's words specifically. The United States is not tied to Taiwan. China could just as easily invade Taiwan if they say the wrong thing or elect the wrong official, and then the United States, China, and Taiwan would in essence be at war over this one island. In essence, World War III right there over Taiwan. Mutually assured destruction does not apply to Taiwan. So really, because of the Middle East turmoil, because of mutually assured destruction and nuclear proliferation to non-state actors through rogue nations' nuclear materials, because of the territorial disputes simply not going away, all of them not receiving a peaceful solution, and because of the serious security issue for cybersecurity and nuclear materials, the resolution does stand true that World War III is impending.
It's imminent.
Imminent.
Alright, cut.
Alright, lost.
Can I say my head hurts?
Yes, it'll turn off.